Okay, here we are, this new reading. Welcome to the Heart's Frontier. I'm Kate. If you don't know me, then yeah, please make sure you like and subscribe if you like the video. And if you are returning, and especially if you have a dream or a business or a project, this is the perfect video for you because I am going to do a weekly collective business reading. Now, I am a super nerd about business. I just love business. I feel like it's the rebel in me. If you knew me growing up, like I've always been a fairly like good child or like, I don't know, like straight edge, or I don't know how you would call it. I think I grew into a lot more of my unwoundness. And I'm continue to further unwind and unbind. But one of the things that I am so passionate about is thinking about these systems and structures. I thought about this a lot when I was younger and going, there has to be a way that this makes a little more sense, because why do people have no homes when we have space? There's a lot of things that don't make sense on a human or on a spiritual level to me about how we're operating. And small business, entrepreneurs helping other people, and good-hearted people supporting their communities does feel right to me. That does feel like the way that we're meant to go. Business is not bad. Business is absolutely helpful. And there are many very powerful leaders with a lot of money doing wonderful things in the world. And that's what we're going to focus on, because we hear a lot about the other stuff, right? Like when you are, especially when you live on the outskirts, or if you're a bit of an outsider in some way in life, you think a lot about constructs, I think. And so, and maybe you think about how they hold you back. And right now, I'd like to focus on how you can use them to get ahead and how you can use them to create a better world. Because if people are creating a worse world, then people are also creating a better world, because equal opposite, right? So let's be on the side of creating a better world and get more people on it, because why not? So this week, energetically, in the collective reading, if you have already listened to that, P.S. I kind of recommend, if you're always going to watch these business readings, that you do watch the collective energy readings too, because that's people on a collective energy. And then you're going to apply that to also business. So feeling how most people are kind of going in some way in their life might help you with how you position whatever you're doing with this, again, business idea, project, etc. So this week you're being asked to have faith. This is most important of all of these things so far, is to have faith. It says, everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I can imagine. And I think this is the key. So I feel this week, things are going to be coming in that you could not have imagined. And so that's why we're collectively being asked to create space, because we don't even know what that thing is. If you don't know what the thing is, it's hard to make space for it, right? No, just start making space with whatever doesn't belong. Okay. I know there's stuff in your life that is there currently that doesn't need to be there. So start looking at that, start chipping away anything that isn't aligned to your heart, that doesn't feel like it's part of your heart. Okay. Then allowing. Yeah. So this is allowing. We're allowing something to come in. So it feels like maybe you've been stuck on, I'm hearing direction. I'm hearing like you've been stuck on a direction, like which way to go about something, or which, I'm seeing like 3, 4, 6 channels. Maybe you're just deciding between two, like, oh, I could do this way or I could do that way. And it says radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment. So what's needed can come next. And what I love to tell clients, like I say this a lot, is if you are looking to make a decision and the decision is not clear, then it's not time to make that decision. It's not time yet for that decision to have been made, right? So you can still be thinking about it, reflecting on it, but stressing about or trying to decide really is kind of fruitless, because the decision is already made and arriving to you, if that makes sense. So the decision is coming, and at that moment that it clinks and go, okay, that's it. That's an aligned decision. Any other decision is like you're forcing and choosing something just to make something settled in your mind, right? We do that a lot. We make a lot a lot of decisions and a lot of choices just to settle body things or external fears. We do not make as many decisions that are at our heart. And what is done in love is done well. I was just pointing to the sign. I felt called to tell you about it. So you need to know that whatever's coming next, you're ready for. It's being given to you for a reason, and you're going to know what you need to do at the time that you need to know, right? And if you trust in that, there's really no reason for you to have to try and make a decision. It's you wait for the decision to be made, and you softly reflect, or it might take a bit of time to talk out this way of thinking, but I think if you're watching this, it'll make sense. So, flow. I'm really also feeling very called to dolphins lately. And dolphins to me are feeling like paying attention to your intelligence, playing also. Playing to your intelligence. This is interesting. So playing to your intelligence and actually letting your mind be of use instead of to be your critic or to be in the way or your obstacle. Allow your mind to be a part of this without making it the boss. And so, playing also really is important in order to allow things to happen. So if you feel like you've been taking things seriously, honestly, try to go do something that you used to do as a kid that felt like play. And if you don't have, and I'm sorry if you don't have that memory or anything from your childhood of feeling like this is what play is, try thinking about what other kids did that was play, and just throw yourself in there and see whether maybe it'll click now that you're an adult. You never know, right? That's the thing about having faith. Faith, allowing, and flow is a lot about surrender, and surrender might not feel comfortable to you in a business sense. However, you're going to see with these weekly readings, some weeks are for surrender, absorption, integrating, allowing, creating space. It's like, if you think of it in a really literal term, which sometimes helps us, in our human minds, if you think about everything in a literal way, and you have an office space, okay, and you need to know whether you're needing to upgrade it or not. It will be obvious because the right place will show itself, or you'll know that you have to move because the landlord's going to evict you, or like there's going to be something that just drops in that says, this is it, this is your next step. And that happens with also just creative projects. And that happens also with dreams and ideas that are still in their, what I would call the pre-production stage. Just coming from a film world, that's what I studied in school. And I worked in the industry for a while, like a short while. So what you notice in that is that in the pre-production stage, you don't realize how much thought and effort kind of can go into creating something. And then when you're in the creation stage, it actually happens very quickly. Producing and creating is actually very fast. And then what you do with it after, and the integration or sharing or development of that, is that kind of post-production. So if I ever use that analogy, that's where it comes from and why. And the next card we have here for this week and business or projects is true offering. Okay. All this week is just about offering, surrendering, allowing, saying, almost like lifting your hands in the air and going, okay, what's next? And I would say I do this in my life whenever possible, because I think it's the best way to live, which is to say, spirit guides, tell me what's next. Or I allow you to show me, I'm going to clear this space here. I'm clearing my schedule here because I feel like I need to absorb what you have to give me, and that's the space I have to give you. So it's sort of like I work in tandem and say, this is what I have right now. And, I'll do a walk at night. So, and I'll not use my music so that I can just be present, right? That's a way of allowing. It's very simple. You could walk for like 10, 15 minutes and just say, I'm just going to allow whatever into my head during that walk that I need. And that could be your true offering. It says true offering takes what can be an unbearable cross and returns it to love. I've also been seeing a lot of imagery around the crucifixion of Jesus. And I'm not sure. So if you have a Christian background, or if you have also just been curious about, the figure of Jesus, there's something there's something self-sacrificing about what might be needed for you this week. And that may be some of the space you're creating. It might just be that this week is not all about you, and that's what allows you to create this space. Yeah, and I'm feeling as though in order to get to this next step in your, I'm not even going to say that actually. Okay. So part of the reason that you are feeling a bit held back by your current positioning and this business or project is because you've been a little bit avoidant to get into a space of allowing, because in the past you feel as though you think as though if you let go of the reins, stuff will crumble. But you are safe, you are protected, you are doing such good work. The work that you've done to put yourself in this place where you currently are now, you're good. You're better off than you realize, and you are being safely nudged along your journey. And it's not about you charging forward and carrying everything all by yourself. This is a time for knowing that this is a journey you're doing for a higher purpose to help more people to create positive change in this world in whatever way that expresses to you. We're all here with separate missions. But there is a fear for you of not quite accepting the depth of your feelings here. So there's something that you're missing because you're not allowing yourself to really feel. And this week, it would be ideal for you to get into your feels. So if there's any way that you can let go, soften, take time out, connect with water, take a bath or something, but really with the intention of allowing. So this might feel really out of practice for you, especially when we own businesses. We tend to do, or, just when we're self-sufficient, I guess, in that sense. We tend to see our actions as like, we tend to take responsibility. It's a good thing to take responsibility for what we're doing, and, to feel like we got to have that drive and charge ahead. And we're much more powerful when we understand that's only one part of the equation. The other part is resting and allowing things to come to us and through us and for us, right? If you're working really hard and you're not enjoying what you're working so hard for, what is it for? Okay, before I leave you, this is an interesting thing that happened in my life this weekend, and I feel compelled to share. So, I woke up feeling extremely distraught. And in this way, I know that it's not just me here, because I woke up with it and I had been feeling pretty good all week, and I'd had a really, positive time. And so I figured, I was like, maybe I had some dream that kind of threw me off and I can't remember it. So I'm just now emotional. But what ended up happening was I just kept like spontaneously crying throughout the day. And I wasn't feeling like this is the end. I just was going, wow, this is a lot of tears. This is a lot of emotion. Wonder what's happening here. And it was honestly, so please understand that I gracefully now accept, or as best I can. I like to think I gracefully accept. I hope to gracefully accept emotions coming through me that need to be felt, because I feel it's important to feel them. I think it's key to my human existence that I feel feelings. So as I'm sort of watching what's going on here, it was like a few hours, and I was in my bed and going, all right, now this is getting annoying. Like, I would like to get on with my day. I had some things I wanted to do today. I have chores to do, I have stuff to do, universe. Why am I just sitting here crying? And I walked out to the beach to clear my head and think, if I could just get some fresh perspective. Like, it was really clouded. When you're processing feelings, your mind is trying to rationalize them. My mind's really good at rationalizing stuff, awesome at it. So awesome, it's frustrating. And that we're untraining and rewiring it, right? So what it does is I'm crying and we don't quite know because it wasn't triggered by a specific event. And so it starts to laser in what are the things that make me feel this depth of emotion? And so for a few hours, I'm going, wow, okay, a lot of things are really good about my life. I'm not really sure why I'm feeling this way. And so then it delivered. I was like, these are all the things. And when I walked out to the beach, I still wasn't really getting that clear perspective. And I thought, okay, Kate, like you have to just share this with someone, like get someone else in on this with you. So it's not just you carrying this alone. Healers need help too. And so, yeah, I tried calling my folks and was able to have like kind of just they laugh because they're like, I don't really feel like we helped you. Like, yeah, no, you did, but you did. You just need to hear me. Like, I just need to, someone just needs to be on the other end, right? Like, just hearing what's going on. And through that, I went, fine, I guess these are the feelings. There's nothing wrong with the feelings. I didn't have to fix anything about them. They're the things that were bothering me that got brought out were things that I'm okay being sad about. They're things that make me sad. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel bad, yeah. They're things that are genuinely okay for me to feel sad about and that I feel are pure. They're part of my heart. And why shouldn't I feel sad about something like that? So that was okay. Anyways, this is I'm so bad at, I give lots of backstory. I'm at the beach, frozen everywhere, and I see this rock. And I'm like running around on all these like ice hills and stuff. And it was really fun. And I was feeling more like myself. I was listening to some like heavier music to try and like, just get the juices going. And was you wearing like crystals? And I was feeling like, okay, I've got this sunny day, frozen beach. And then I see this rock and I'm going to walk away from it. And then I'm talking to myself. I go, oh, it kind of looks like a kidney. It's like a liver, or like a lung or something. That's kind of cool. It was like an organ that I thought it was. And then I felt like I couldn't leave. And this is like that's like spirits knocking at your door, kind of like you feel really called. Have you ever felt that? You feel really, really called to do something. You're not really sure why. I had to go get this rock. And then I realized when I get to there, it's completely stuck in the ice. So it's like 2/3 stuck in the ice. And I saw this rock going, I don't really want to chip this thing out. Like, why am I being called to get this rock? And so dutifully, I still am following the call that I got. And so I grabbed a stick, chipping away. I'm kicking at it with my boot. It's helping me get some aggression out, which is nice. But I was like chipping away at all this ice, trying to remove this rock, see what was, to do with it. Or I don't know. I just felt like this is my rock. I have to get this rock. And as I'm chipping away, I'm kind of getting annoyed going, how long am I going to be doing this? Like, am I actually going to get this out? Like my fingertips were really cold. It's fine. I can handle cold hands, but I was just starting to rattle through my head, kind of fussy. And this dog comes up to me, so majestic, like coppery red, so soft, like just, it looks like a commercial dog. Moving past that word. So this dog comes up to me. He's got this like big stick in his mouth. And so comes over to me and starts playing tug of war. And I was just so excited. I was so happy to see this dog. And one of the things that I was really, feeling genuinely sad about was just that I am genuinely isolated here. And so I was feeling a lack of connection. And so this dog coming up to me super made my day. I love when people in town let me pet their dogs. And the owners didn't really need to talk to me, which kind of worked well for me because I just wanted to hang out with the dog. We played some tug of war, and then this dog circled me a couple times, and I felt like it was a very protective move because when I've been in my sort of dream space, I've had wolves do that, to circle and protect, keep an eye, sort of to say, hey, you're staying in this bound, you're safe here. And I felt like immediately like a little shift. And I mean, this dog's doing dog things, I'm sure. It was just the connectivity that really made it make so much sense here. And we played around for a bit. I actually got to hang out with the dog for like a couple minutes, which was awesome. It was so soft. And then the dog noticed that I had a little stick because I had been chipping away at this ice. And the dog dropped his big stick and then took my little stick with him. And I was like, okay, so you left me a gift and I gave you one, and this was a very, very special interaction. I love dogs, so it was just really cute for me. And then I went, okay, now I have a bigger stick to chip away at this ice at. But maybe that was the moment. So I go, maybe this story is important, by the way. It's gonna have meaning, I promise. So I go, maybe that was the important piece here, was just I just needed to put my head down, do something, and then, surprise, this dog will come running up to me with this stick in his mouth, going, ah. And then I started walking away and I felt that knock at the door and I was like, ah. So I had to go back to this rock. And at this point, I'm going, are you serious? Like, I already had my little moment. Do I really need, and this rock is like still, I'd say I still had half of the work left to do to try and get this rock unstuck from the ice. And so I take this bigger stick and I start chipping away at it. And then in that second half, I really had a personal revelation, which is this entire situation is a metaphor for where I currently feel, which is, I've been putting myself into focusing on things and not quite seeing the full reason as to why. But what I need to do is trust that these little gifts do happen along the way. There's been so many for me since being here that have popped up just to show me the reason or to confirm that it's good that I'm here. But getting that rock at the end felt really, it felt really certain that I had completed what I needed to complete. And it was just it was hilarious. I was so frustrated chipping away at this rock, complaining to the universe, like complaining to my spirit guides as why I need this rock right now. Why do I need to work so hard? That was really it. Why do I need to work so hard? When am I going to see the fruits of this, et cetera, et cetera? And you're going to see it in these magic moments in between. And that's really the message here is it's important for us to put, like, if I had not stopped at that rock, I never would have run into that dog and had that little moment. And I likely would have felt still a little bit of that disconnect, but that shift really helped me turn around my day. And it was so simple. I had to phone my mom a few minutes later to be like, all right, it already solved itself, and they just chuckle away because that is always how things work now is when feelings come up, if they're not scary to me and I'm actively trying to process them and I listen the best I can to what I'm supposed to do next, then the gift arrives, right? In this case, it was a bigger stick and some cuddle time with a dog that was so, blessed and needed. And yeah, if that's resonating with your story or maybe just sounds inspiring to you for some reason, I hope that helps. Let me know if that whole story was worth it for you. And I'm going to pull one more card just to wrap us up and guide us through the week rather than ending on my story. But I do feel it's sort of a good testament to believing that things can shift at any moment and that sometimes you are meant to not see how it works out, but just do the work. Do the work that you're already being told to do and trust that it's for good reason. And I kept the stick and I kept the rock. So I'm going to post it on my Instagram. So if you don't already follow me there, I'll post it. Yeah, I'm going to start changing my description so that it actually shares more of everything that I do. But I also don't want it to be overwhelming. So I will share the Instagram there. Okay. And yeah, so your overall focus, staying focused, hold the course. So hold the course. You've been doing really good work. All you need to do is, continue chipping away at that rock. That's all you need to do. Then it's on to a great adventure. This is what I feel like you're working towards is your next great adventure, whenever that is going to happen. So it says, take a risk and venture forward. So as soon as you feel like you've held the course, just keep acting forward. Trust that this current phase, you're doing the work to set you up for this unimaginable adventure in your life. Okay. Unimaginable. So thank you, everyone. That is your business healing reading collective message for this week. And I hope to do more. Let me know just let me know what you think. All right. Talk soon.